Hi there, I'm Rosie D, and you're listening to WQAT-LP FM 99.5, the radio station of Allen Temple A.M.E. Church, the downtown church here in Greenville, South Carolina. Today with us is Sonia Cunningham Leverette, who is the founder of Hadassahs Crown Publishing. Sonia Cunningham Leverette's publishing company is based in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and has published nearly 100 books.
This is Michael Forsyth on WQAT, the radio station of Allen Temple A.M.E., the downtown church in Greenville, South Carolina. Today we have with us Sonia Cunningham Leverette, the owner and founder of Hadassahs Crown Publishing, which recently published The Story of Young King David and has published numerous other works. Thank you for joining us, Sonia.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, can you tell us what sorts of books does Hadassahs Crown publish?
Wow, thanks for that question. We publish a number of different genres. We have published mostly Christian testimonials, autobiographies, and memoirs. We have published sermons, poetry, and many children's books, all with the theme of uplifting and empowering and equipping others.
Well, it's so exciting that there's a publishing company right in Simpsonville. Does the company have a particular motto or guiding principle?
Our motto is publishing excellence with integrity. And that truly is our guiding motto because as a published author myself, and I'm the main publisher, I know how important it is to have an excellent work on the market. And so that drives our operations in the background as well as just making sure everything is professional, but treating others the way we want to be treated. And so that's why we make sure integrity is a key word in any phrase that we use.
Well, you mentioned that you are a published author. Can you tell me what led you to found the company? Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
I appreciate that question as well because the two parts of that are intertwined deeply. My first opportunity to publish was in 2015 with a Christian best-selling author, Vanessa Miller, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And she brought on about 8 to 10 women who were able to publish in an anthology. We did that twice. A friend and I published with her twice. And part of the goal for her was to teach others how to self-publish. So after we published those first 2 short stories, I self-published my very first children's book, which later became a bestseller. It is entitled BJ's Big Dream. And it's funny because this month is the 5th anniversary of that book, and I'm getting ready to release a anniversary edition of that. But I fell so in love with the publishing process that I decided this is what I want to do. I had struggled to find my niche. For example, I worked very closely with superintendents in several districts who enjoyed golfing. They had a great time over the weekend. They could come back to work energized and recharged, refreshed, and talk about their good golf game. I didn't have a pastime. I didn't have a wonderful hobby that I just really loved, but I've always been an avid reader, an avid writer, and as an English teacher, the editing process of the publishing process is what I truly enjoy. And so my first experience as a self-published author said, this is something that you can do when you retire. This is something you can also do to truly give back to others. And then that's how the name Hadassah came about, because we realized that Hadassah is Queen Esther in the Bible. She made it to the palace, but she didn't just stay there and say, ooh, I have it made. This is wonderful. She reached back and she helped other people get to the palace as well. And so when I published, I decided I want to reach back, help others, make it affordable, and I also want to help people get their stories out who might not otherwise do that, because sometimes with the traditional publishing, it is so very difficult to get our stories recognized. So that is the origin of Hadassahs Crown Publishing.
I was wondering about the name. Can you tell us what have been some of the challenges you've encountered in growing and operating a small publishing house?
One of the challenges is just the time that it takes to properly edit, and to get the book covers done. It is a huge behind-the-scene operation. And so once I learned how to contract with others and to really reach out to others, that has been a godsend and a tremendous help to my company as a small company. And I would say the other larger obstacle is the marketing. I know that many authors struggle with that, and that's just the area that we're trying to grow in the most, to really figure out for each book who is the ideal audience and how do we best get the books to them, because there are so many authors publishing right now, which I think is fantastic. But we're all trying to, figure out just how we can sell more books. And so that's what we're really trying to work on and accomplish now.
Yes. Well, can you tell us about some of the authors and books that you've published?
There are so many. Last year in September, we reached our 50th mark. And this year, we're not very shy of 100 books.
Wow.
So, yes, and it's hard to call them out because I don't want to leave anyone out, but I do want to mention one of the most near and dear projects that I worked on was my dad's biography. My sisters and my mom, our kids helped him write his biography, and so we published that a few years ago. That was a phenomenal project. His name is Sonia Cunningham, and then my son, coming out of college, decided that he wanted to publish a children's book. So that was a very special project as well. But I have worked with numerous family members and church members and just people all over the state. But then I've worked with people in Atlanta, Florida, and most recently San Jose, California. So without tons of marketing, my company has grown by word of mouth, and it's grown by, the Facebook Live interviews that we do and the Instagram Live interviews that we do. And so I'm touched that there is truly a need for people who just don't have the time to research how to publish themselves, or they just want to focus on their writing. So they employ my services so that they can focus on what they enjoy. And I have truly enjoyed every moment of helping whomever I can.
Mm-hmm. Well, can you tell me, what do you look for in a manuscript when someone brings you a project?
I look for manuscripts that, one, have a message that people need to hear. Something that's unique, something that's going to be appealing, but something at the end of the day that is truly going to help uplift someone. And then I look at how much time the author has actually dedicated to the writing. Did they just throw something on paper and then throw it to me? Or did they truly meticulously attempt to make it their very best writing? And has it even been edited prior to reaching me? So those are key things, that it has substance, that it's able to help, but also was there time put into it, and was it very well written before it was submitted? So that, because regardless as to how much editing has been done, there will be more, because we can spend years on the editing process from start to finish. And so we want things that just don't have to be completely developed from the beginning, if that makes sense.
Oh, most definitely. You recently published The Story of Young David by Preston Johnson, and I've seen it. It's just a gorgeous, wonderful book, and I'm looking forward to speaking to him in just a few moments. What appealed to you about this particular book?
I saw some of the mock-ups, and I saw the 3D imaging that is involved in the very complex and just gorgeous illustrations. And I had the privilege of being on calls with the person who actually illustrated the book, but he wasn't the only person involved in the visuals. There was also another person who specialized in coloring. So, yes, it has even another level of just making sure that it is something spectacular, something very appealing and eye-catching to the young audience as well as the older audience. And just hearing, as you speak with Mr. Johnson, you will hear his passion come across. He is very much reminded of his upbringing in the church and just how these stories connected with him, how they resonated. And because he now has young children, he has searched to try to find special stories that he can use to really help his children understand the Bible. And he really didn't find exactly what he was looking for, so he went to pen his own. And Young David is just the beginning. And I'm extremely excited about the one that's coming next year because it's about Hadassah. That's going to be, yes, that is going to be just very special next year.
Now, if an aspiring author here in our area has written a manuscript, how can they approach you?
They can reach out to me via a call. They can email me. All of my information is on my website. It's Hadassahs Crown Publishing.com. And I try to be down to earth. I try to make people comfortable when I talk with them and just really ease people through the publishing process. So I will ask for the manuscript so that I can view it and just see if it's going to be a good match for our company. And then from there, we're able to take the manuscript and go from start to finish. So, if they just want to reach out and we get an initial conversation started, then we'll just kind of see how things go from there.
Great. Well, how can listeners find these books and find out more about Hadassahs Crown Publishing?
If they can, go to HadassahsCrownPublishing.com, and that's HADASSAHS, HadassahsCrownPublishing.com. All of the books that we have published are on the shop or store tab, and then there's an additional tab as well. And they're able to purchase the books. They're able to see who the authors are, what their works are, a description of the work, as well as the cost of the work. And I encourage listeners to please support our local authors. When you have church events or school events, when you have baby showers and birthday parties, purchase books by people who are local. And if the audience wants books signed, we're able to do that. We're able to come for signings, for shows, whatever it is that you can involve us in. We're happy to do that. And not just the authors of Hadassahs Crown. There are many authors in the upstate of South Carolina. If you just, do a little research and reach out so that you can support us, we would be very, very humbled and grateful.
Yes, indeed. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Well, Sonia, thank you so much for speaking with us.
You are so welcome. It's a pleasure to be here, and I know that you as well are an author, and I just wish you much continued success on your journey, and I hope that our paths will cross again very soon. Again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and continue to enjoy your day.
You've been listening to our discussion with Sonia Cunningham Leverette, the founder of Hadassahs Crown Publishing. I'm Michael Forsyth on WQAT, the radio station of Allen Temple A.M.E., the downtown church in Greenville, South Carolina.
You have just listened to Sonia Cunningham Leverette, founder of Hadassahs Crown Publishing. For more information on purchasing books published through Hadassahs Crown Publishing, you can visit www.hadassahscrownpublishing.com. That's Hadassah spelled Hadassahs. And again, it is www.Hadassahs Crown Publishing. I'm Rozzie D. along with Michael Forsyth. Please stay tuned because there is more on the way here on WQAT.